97.1 FM, The Morning Drive. Joining us, the president of the Chicagoland Speedway. They have a little something happening this weekend. It's Scott Paddock. Scott, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great. Great to be on with you again.
You know, let me say, I was out there about 3 weeks ago, and I love the Chicagoland Speedway. It's just, first of all, an unbelievable venue, but secondly, the people that you have out there. I had such a great time that day.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. That's the business we're in. It's about delivering smiles and helping people create some great family memories, and it's gratifying to work in an industry like that. So that was a fun weekend at Chicagoland Speedway. We'll do it again in September when we kick off the chase, but this weekend we're doing some straight line racing at Route 66 Raceway. The NHRA, the National Hot Rod Association, is coming into town with their stars, names like John Force, Courtney Force, Illinois' own Tony Schumacher and others, and they're going to be tearing up our drag strip.
Well, I noticed that when I was out there, you were shaking people's hands, you were working the crowd, and you gave some people some free tickets.
Well, you know, okay, listen, customer service is important, and if you can put a smile on people's faces, and, you know, folks have a lot of choices on how to use their discretionary income, a lot of sports and entertainment options out there, and we want to work hard to earn their money and to keep them coming back.
Well, what can families and people expect this weekend? I mean, it's a little something for everybody. I mean, the kids are going to like it, but mom and dad can have a ball as well, right?
They can. I mean, this is quite simply the fastest form of motorsports on the planet. You will be watching these nitromethane fuel cars go from 0 to 325 miles an hour in 4 seconds or less. And for the fans, it is a full-body sensory experience that touches all 5 of the human senses, the sights, the sounds, the smells of the nitromethane. It'll shake you to the core, and this is one of those sports that you really can't get the full impact watching at home from your television on your living room couch. You've got to be there in person. And you know, these drivers say the impact of those 10,000 horsepower is analogous to what a astronaut feels during liftoff of the space shuttle. The G-force is very similar, and science has proved that. So imagine if you're a fan sitting there watching from a few feet away, the full-body sensory experience you're going to feel.
Well, if you can you clue people in, what do these cars get miles per gallon?
It's scary to think how much it costs each of those qualifying passes, but you know, it's a thrill show, no doubt about it. Probably one of my favorite events that we put on. And the other unique thing about this weekend, it's about access. They say every ticket is a pit pass in the NHRA, and that's true. You watch the exciting racing on the racetrack, and then you walk a few feet over to Nitro Alley. That's the fan interactive area, and you can literally watch these world-class crew chiefs and mechanics break down these engines and rebuild them right before your eyes. You've got a front row seat to do that. And the drivers, there's no professional athlete more fan-friendly, more accessible than the NHRA, and they'll be up close to get autographs and Q&As all weekend long. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we've had you on before, but we're going to get the race fans out there. They've already got their tickets. They're going to show up, and they're going to be out there in full force. Take a second and talk somebody that's never been there before into coming out this weekend to visit. Let's talk them into it. What can you offer them that's going to offer better than laying on the couch this weekend?
Yeah, you know, it's a great question, and we want those first-time fans to come out because I promise you they'll get hooked on this. I mean, for one, it's a festival type of atmosphere. There's music, there's food and beverage, there's sponsored giveaways in that Nitro Alley Midway area. And, you know, particularly for younger fans that have, you know, young kids, the millennial generation younger, they talk about how they have a shorter attention span and how they like short, action-packed events and how they like a social experience. That's what this event is about. It's about you watch the action on the racetrack for about 30, 40 minutes, then you walk over to Nitro Alley and you get that social engagement, that fun access, and that the music, the fun environment there, the electric nature of that, and then you go back and watch the pros do another qualifying pass. So this sport and the format of it lends itself very well to the younger generation and the behavioral tendencies they have where they like social engagement and they like short action-packed events.
That would be us, Scott. We have a short attention span. That's why the Chicagoland Speedway Route 66 is perfect for all of us. And your fans are so loyal. I mean, I always knew that, but going out to the Chicagoland Speedway and talking to people when I was out there, it's just everybody is so loyal.
They are. This is and that's why sponsors love making investments in the sports corporate brands, because the fans realize that it's the sponsors and their investment in the sport that enables the sport to do what it does. So that's why they're so loyal to those sponsor products and those corporate brands. And yes, it's a fan-friendly environment. We're proud of the incredible amenities that we offer, with state-of-the-art facilities. This drag strip this weekend is probably one of the top 2 or 3 in the world. The owners spared no expense when they built it back in the late 90s, and fans remind me often how fortunate we are to have a world-class facility like this right in our backyard.
Right. Scott, did I hear you correctly? Did you say that every ticket is sort of like having a pit pass?
It is, at no additional expense. Your ticket is your all-access pass for the day to watch the action on the racetrack and to get into that nitro alley and to watch those world-class crew chiefs and mechanics work on those engines. You've got a front-row seat to do that. And the driver's motor coaches, where they live throughout the weekend, is right next to the pits. So they're coming and going. They're out there signing autographs, talking to the fans, taking pictures. So that's what makes this sport so fan-friendly, the access you have to the drivers and the pit area.
Can we get Scott a fire suit?
We sure can. Send me over his size and dimensions.
Come on,
at least a 3X.
I want to see you in a fire suit.
Well, I want to know if I can come into a lap on a moped before the race.
No, that's a bad deal.
We can make that happen. We've got 2 nights of Nitro, Friday and Saturday night, 2 nights of night qualifying optically. It's just a lot more fun under the lights. And then championship eliminations take place on Sunday, and we'll kick off the day with a track walk. You as a fan can come out and walk this world-famous drag strip and feel the sticky VHT. That's the compound that keeps these 10,000 horsepower monsters affixed to the racetrack. And don't wear flip-flops because you'll lose them on the racetrack. You got to bring some secure shoes to feel that VHT compound. But you'll be able to walk the drag strip literally an hour before we start championship eliminations.
And don't forget the race for the chase. You can also get tickets at ChicagolandSpeedway.com. Is that right, Scott?
That's right. Yep. Route66raceway.com for this weekend.
Yep.
And then all eyes and attention will be on that kickoff race in the chase at ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
That's great. The president of Chicagoland Speedway, Scott Paddock. Scott, thanks for coming on. We'll talk soon.
Always a pleasure for me. Thanks, guys.
All right. See you, man.